I'm the Global Creative Director for Westminster Fibers. As you know, we introduced the new knit substrate last year, and there was a lot of questions on how to use the knit, so we figured who better to answer your questions and explain sewing with knitting than Amy and Anna Maria. So,
thanks. Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. I'm Anna Maria Horner, and I'm thrilled to have a chance to be able to have a group of you to talk about this fabric, the interlock. And I want to talk a little bit about the structure of this cloth, and I want to talk about why I chose this and work together with Joyce and the other designers to choose this specific fabric, and then what I think it can do for your shop. I think that Amy and I, we were just chatting before we got started, and really I think I want to get across, and I'm sure we all want to get across, that presenting knit fabrics to a group of mostly quilt shops is not a tactic to make you change anything that you're doing, and to change quilters into people who sew knit garments only. It's actually a whole nother reason for people to walk into your shop, and it's actually a whole nother group of people that can walk into your shop that maybe never has before. And because so many of you are coming from a point of view of offering so much woven cotton goods, and to people who have lots of experience with sewing with woven cotton goods, it was important to me when I first started working with Joyce and selecting the knit fabric that it be a knit fabric that didn't act too crazy different than a woven fabric, because this is the experience that a lot of us have. And for that reason, I felt like choosing an interlock was a really great idea. Do you have anything else to talk about before I talk about the structure of the cloth?
No, I'm enjoying this part of the presentation.
Oh, yeah, sure. There's a chair over there, because I just take a seat.
In the best possible way, but I think this is a great time for what you're doing.
Okay. All right. So I want to talk just a little bit for a second about the structure of the interlock cloth versus what we all throw the word jersey around, and in fact, I've made that mistake myself of calling this a jersey, because I think we kind of call knits jerseys. Part of that is because of how we shop and what we wear, and that word gets used a lot. This is not a jersey fabric. If you're familiar with knitting, okay, the front side of the fabric looks like little V's, right? And the back side of the fabric, the purled side, looks like little rolls, right? It's a different structure visually on the front and the back. That's what jersey fabric is. In fact, jersey fabric is knit just the way hand knit goods are, okay? So because they're different on the back, and because we all have to block it to keep it from what? Purling, right? The jersey fabric has a tendency to do that as well. You cut, it curls, you get pissed off, and you go away, and you never buy it again. Maybe. Or maybe you work on it a little bit longer and work with it. And jerseys really vary in their rolling and curling and how easy they are to work with based on how thick they are generally. An interlock fabric is actually the same structure, but it's two layers of it, okay? And they're interlocked together so that from the front and from the back, it's like the right side of the fabric. And because of that secure structure of them together, it lays flat and it lays smooth, okay? So does that make sense? You know, I mean, I'm the daughter of an engineer, so I like these kinds of things. You don't have to know it to get how it works with. You can just play with it and understand how it works with. But I think if you understand it, it might help you understand why the interlock behaves the way it does and how you can rely on it to lay more flat and cut and sew very much actually like the woven goods. Now that double structure sounds super thick, but we chose a substrate that, as you can see, it moves. It's not super heavy. And I also didn't want it to be a tissue weight, because I wanted it to be something that was suitable for top weight and also bottom weight, okay? So you can sit down in a skirt and it's not going to wear out, or it's not going to be transparent. So it's a one single knit fabric that is 100% cotton and therefore is compatible all the other things in your shop. You're going to be washing it the same and drying it the same. Yes, it shrinks more than the regular quilting cottons, but really the care is the same. The care is something your customers are used to. The sewing is something that your customers can acclimate themselves to. And as an example of how it integrates really well, and we're going to show a bunch of examples at the end. I don't want to talk too long, but you can see in these garments here that I actually have some woven cotton Dresdens that I applique right down on top of the knit fabric, no interfacing, the exact same stitch style and setting as what I do for appliquing on quilts. No stretching out, no bubbling, super easy. I don't think there's like a better way to illustrate how well it works. And this top, I did some free motion applique of lots of woven snippets of some of my favorite florals right onto the knit fabric. No weirdness, right? This one has been washed like a bunch because I've been wearing it all summer, and this one I just finished. So with that in mind, I wanted to just talk, I think my slides are first. To celebrate sort of the presentation of my knit fabrics out there, we developed a sewing pattern called the Lemon Drop Dress and Tunic, which I'm wearing. And there are a total, hey, you're running on reserve power.
What? Oh, I get it.
I'm wearing the Lemon Drop right now. And the Lemon Drop has sizes for women and for girls and for toddlers, of course. Aww. Right? So the toddler version has a cute lap shoulder and a little kangaroo pocket. The girl version has these cute patch pockets, and then the women's has basically sleeve variation. But the size of the patch pocket on the girls version, you could apply to the women's as well. In total, the different combinations of sizes, not including sleeve length, the different combinations of whether it's a tunic, whether it has pockets, whether it's short sleeve, long sleeve, all that sort of thing, are 22. And you can just keep flipping through because there's several. So there's 22 different different variations of how you can make it. And to get this fabric in people's hands, we decided to do something called a trade away, where we wanted people on Instagram. Keep going. Okay, so there's something I don't know at all. So what we did was, who's adorable and I love now. But, so what we did was we decided that we'll pick 22 people through Instagram. We said, how about you hashtag who you would sew a lemon drop for? Hashtag it, I love lemon drops. And we'll look through all the hashtag group and just randomly pick 22 different people, whether they be babies or girls or moms or grandmas, size, color, shape, everything, to show like how great this shape works on everybody and how great the fabric works. So you can flip through these. So these are like the trade-aways of 22 different people who sent us. And it's called a trade-away because we gave them the pattern and the fabric, and they just had to promise us back a picture of the finished thing, and we gave them like 30 days. And they're like, how cute. So you can flip through quickly because that's sort of like mostly what I wanted to see. But the thing about the knit fabrics too is, like, in design, I designed them so that I use some of my True Colors prints, I use some Pretty Potent prints, I use some Dowry. I designed them in a way that I felt like there's kind of no wrong answers. And as you see the way they're put together, and lots of the garments, the one that I'm wearing, and the way that this is the way that it's designed, like, it's kind of almost like you can put any print together, and it's adorable. And that same goes for if you're combining it with some of my woven goods. So, and then this is just one more little baby dress that I combined with another jersey fabric. My friend Natalie Channon, you might be familiar with the line Alabama Channon. We did a workshop together this summer, and this is like a hand-piece little version that I did using some of her organic jersey cotton along with our prints. And again, 100% cotton, so really compatible use with other fabrics that are already in your shop. So I probably took it in easy 15 minutes. So.
It's brilliant. No, it's great.
Thank you.
I love that Anna was sharing all these different combinations of the prints and the fabric and talking about the versatility, because that's one of the qualities of this knit interlock that makes it really unique and special. And I brought a few samples from my Glow Knit collection to show you a little bit more about that versatility and what that means. And I'll start out with this pillow, as a matter of fact. This is the knit fabric used in an alternative way. So talking about versatility, talking about projects, and also about attracting that new customer popping into your shop, or someone wanting to come back and have a new experience with you. It's a great opportunity to get them thinking about all different kinds of projects. So this pillow, I'll let you all feel this too in a minute, but
So you won't get it back.
it's wonderful.
I still want to sleep on
It's
it.
like a whoopee.
It's so cozy.
But it's amazing. And this is such a simple project. I mean, this could be like an easy, like 1.5 hour, 2 hour workshop with someone even new to sewing. And it's just playing around with creating organic pleats with the knit. It behaves so beautifully. And so you can imagine like decking out a new dorm room for someone going to college, or setting up some interlock sheets and detailing, because it just feels so wonderful next to your body. Something else I want to show you are the pieces that I'm wearing. One of the things that I'm working on are a lot of no-sew projects. So we're talking about someone that loves the materials, looking for something new and versatile, something fashionable, something that's going to be easy for them to play with without the intimidation of sewing. And this is that new customer that's walking through your door and looking for something new. And so this is actually the old school macrame from the 70s. And all you do is take a width of the knit fabric, put a piece of Wonder Under on one side, fold it over and press, and that becomes your fabric for cutting. And then you just use your rotary cutter and you cut all your different lengths. And this is what you use to actually
So
knit
you made a
macrame.
two-sided fabric?
It's a two-sided fabric. So, and you can knit, obviously this is macrame, but this could easily be knitted. And then when we talked about the body and the behavior of the fabric, its
And
personality.
giant crochet rods.
Oh, giant crochet rows, yeah.
Oh, those needles.
The big giant needles. And it's like super soft. Bring your needles to the booth out on the floor. But you can see how it's stretchy, even with Wonder Under. We're thinking, ew, yeah, Wonder Under, that sounds really nasty. But it behaves beautifully. And so this is one of my project downloads as part of my creative suite, which is multiple projects using the knit and the voile and some of the other fabrics. But this is not only a cool belt, but it's also a really kind of fab scarf that you can play with. And then I did a mini-me version, a little fabric, little knit cuff, little big sister. So this is the macrame again. It's really simple. It's really straight up, straightforward macrame, and just detailing it with a fun vintage pin.
You could possibly play holders too.
You can do pin holders. Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah, the big giant chest. Wait till you guys see the booth tomorrow. We're
We're not going to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
So I'll pass this around for you guys to feel it too, because it feels really wonderful. So that's kind of
Can I want to say one more thing about stretch, because an interlock knit is, and I don't rule out doing jersey knits. I think that's a great idea, but just like you approach any craft for the first time, I felt like we should sort of present in a stage of progression as well. Like, let's get people sewing with the interlocks and try that out, and then maybe we can approach some jerseys, because jerseys are amazing, and they can do things that interlocks will not. They'll stretch a ton, they'll drape a little differently. Stretch is determined based on percentages. Like if you hear people say like this fabric has a 25% stretch, or it's a two-way stretch, or it's a four-way or six-way. So this is not a performance stretch. In other words, it's not going to stretch the same in every direction. It stretches on the width. It has some give on the vertical, but not a ton. So yes, you can make leggings out of it, but it's not going to be the same legging pattern that you might use for a jersey fabric. Like it's going to have to be cut the length of a pant, because it's not going to stretch like gymnastic fabric, right? And maybe this is about, in my measuring scenarios, this is about a 25% stretch. That means when you stretch the fabric to the point where you wouldn't really, before it starts distorting and opening up that interlock, and before it starts distorting the print, when you stretch it out to its maximum, it's about 25% bigger than the total. Okay, there's some fabrics that go up 100, 50% more, or that can stretch out to a ton, but those are usually ones that stay stretched out. So this retains well, in other words, it's stretched and it goes back really beautifully. Probably shrinks more than any fabric that I've sewed with, besides maybe the flannels. It's probably similar to the flannel. And on my blog, every time I introduce a new fabric, I go through like the nitty-gritty. How does it wash? How does it cut? How does it sew? What needles to use? And I taught classes this summer with Natalie Channon, who does all organic, handmade, beautiful goods out of Jersey. I mean, she makes beaded wedding gowns out of Jersey that sell for like $7,000 and $8,000. Okay, everything she makes is organic Jersey. It's amazing. I would encourage you to have a look at what she's doing. She has a lot of DIY product now too. So we did a weekend workshop of 25 women that came to join us, and I taught them how to sew with Jersey. Sorry, see, I just said it. She used Jersey, I used interlock, but our fabrics marry beautifully together because they're both 100% cotton, no spandex, nothing like that in them. And I taught people how to sew using just a regular home sewing machine, no serger. And I have a couple of tips on my blog. If you just Google Anna Maria Knits, you'll find, my blog post where I go through. Feel free to print that out and put it in your shop and on a little placard or something right next to the knits, so like simple knits. Tips on how to wash. So what needle to use, how to use a twin needle, which is an amazing thing that I teach actually in the pattern. I teach how to use a twin needle on a home sewing machine, and every home sewing machine can do that. All you have to do is attach the twin needle. Maybe we should take questions, if anybody has any. Yes? Go ahead.
What's the width of the fabric? Is it 60?
60? It's probably like 58 usable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you say it shrinks more than any fabric that we use?
Any fabric that we design. It shrinks more than my cotton, the wool, sateen. And I detail how many inches over a yard it shrinks on the blog. Okay, so I did wash tests of like in the dryer, not in the dryer. I found there was no difference in the shrinkage based on the dryer, so it's really the wash that's doing it. The color is beautiful, the softness is beautiful before and after. So I put out those little tests on the blog.
Do you want to go through your slides first?
It'll just take a second. Yeah, but we've talked a lot about what I have here, but we were talking about the personality of the interlock is so beautiful, and the fact that it does hold its structure.
Simple, yeah.
But I just brought a few slides to show you how gorgeously it drapes. This is a maxi dress by Jamie Christina, same fabric, and look at the variety of the personality and the material. And then this is another dress. This is from the Japanese book Drape, and I have the dress right here. And you can see how it holds a little bit of structure, but it has just the right amount of weight and the right amount of body that it has a beautiful shape to it. So it gives you tons of versatility. And then I have the accessories that I'm wearing here. And I wanted to add too, when you've cut it, and Anna Maria mentioned that you don't need a serger because the finish is nice. Because of the way that it's constructed, the fabric behaves beautifully without having to serge or do anything to the end. So that also gives it more versatility.
And all the seam allowances in this pattern are only 3/8 because there's no need to have the extra depth of seam allowance, which is great. I didn't even have the skirt. You wouldn't have to hem kings because and even compared to other jerseys, they don't fray like at all. I'm sorry? It's more than 54, it's closer to 58, I believe, in my experience. I found that some of them, while the fabric itself might be 60 inches, all the way to the selvage, sometimes there's this little strip that's not printed, right? That's like very width. So I think you have a usable 57, 58.
The mill markings where they're actually clipping it onto the machines, so you've got that white selvage edge on it. So.
The other thing I wanted to say I remember now about like fit and flatter and drape of this fabric is because it has structure and a little bit of thickness, it's actually, for women who want to wear some things that are fitted, it's actually more flattering than a tissue tee because it kind of has it's not really like space, but it kind of has a quality where it actually is going to fit you and not cling like some of the super soft silky ones, you know what I mean? It's actually going to fit and flatter and be smooth and not like hug on everyone.
It's not going to creep up on you either.
It's not creepy. It's so not creepy. Yeah. But I don't know. I haven't seen all the sewing examples yet. That maybe it's creepy somewhere. I don't know yet.
Creepy could be good. Depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, there's no creepy, and there's definitely creepy, and then there's definitely yeah.
When will it be available?
Mine's shipping. Yours is coming out.
Mine has started shipping. The Glow Knit started shipping. The Glow Interlock started shipping last month. The end of last month, September. Yeah.
It don't ship, so get on.
And yours is shipping now.
Mine has been shipping since July.
July.
Yeah. I backordered a couple times, so people are definitely, and I have an online shop. It's not to compete with you, it's just because I have to pay my employee. But I have an online shop and we sell a ton of it. Like we can't keep it in. And I think it's because it hasn't filtered out to as many stores as it should. So stop having them buy it from me and put it in your own shop. I mean, the few places that have it online are selling out of it very quickly. And I hear from online shop owners that are like, it has been a backorder like 3 times. So people are selling out of it that have it.
What is the wholesale
Price, we retail at $17.50, so wholesale somewhere around. No one knows. It's just
$8.75.
$8.75. Okay. So
8-year old? 8-year old.
8 or 10 years old, they're shorter bolts. 8. 8-yard bolts. 8-yard bolts.
And you got your closet.
Oh, and I have my creative suite to share with you, which is my Blossom Creative Suite is a IPF, and it intermixes all the different substrates that I'm currently designing with. So we have a little bit of sateen projects, I have the quilting projects, I have the flow interlock, and there are actually 7 projects, so we'll have to crack the cover when we go home. But see, 5 out of the 7 projects are actually no-sew, or low-impact projects. So a lot of quick and easy, wonderful, fun things, craft-focused things to do with the fabric that also give you like amazing results for fashion pieces, fashion projects, and decorating pieces too. And that'll be available in November after the work. Whoa!
Yeah, everything goes well.
Amy, can you tell us about the tunic you're wearing also?
Yes, this is a design by my friend Tina Gibbons. Tina, are you in here? Miss Tina? This is Tina Gibbons. We all love Tina. And this is one of her brand new patterns called the honey tunic. And this is made with my voile fabric. This is my glow voile, but it's a fabulous pattern. And Tina, you're wearing another one of your patterns today, aren't you? Do you have another one of your
Should you
designs
stand on
on?
a chair,
Can you
maybe?
stand? Can you show us what you're wearing?
What are you wearing, Tina? Who are you wearing? Those pillow, I was literally sitting here going, oh, so knit pillowcases, like any of you that have touched the pillow that's coming around, it's so incredibly soft, but like it's wide enough to make a crib sheet, which I'm totally gonna do when I get home. And pillowcases would be amazing, and because again, it's not crazy stretchy. I think that you could apply so many patterns that are intended for wovens and just interjet knit.
And you guys are next door neighbors, so it's easy to
Yeah.
see over there.
Oopsies.
Yeah.
Just come up and see the.
Yeah,
see
please
them,
come and touch
feel free to
everything.
Answer any other questions that you may
Sample
have.
Touch almost everything.